Hello. I'm Shakeba, and I'm gonna be doing a reading right now. It's actually pretty early in the morning, around 3 in the morning. I probably was waking about 20 minutes ago or something like that. Okay. So I'm gonna do a reading pretty much like I did, like last night. Okay. So just to see if I can get something full. Okay. All right, so let's go with these cards. And I was just awakened by, you know, as the hours go, as the times go, you're like, there's different energies that's going on, or the energy changes. I know sometimes, like now, I have trouble sleeping, something like that. Like I said, with my something that is very important to me. I have a separation time, so time to be away, but just in general, I have something else going on, personally too. So sometimes I have just, you know, feeling some type of way or what have you. But personally, with me right now, I have like something going on. So that has me, at times up at night and in my thoughts and stuff like that. So I'm up from time to time. So I thought to do a reading because just to see what's in the energy. So again, my name is Shakeba, and this is Crystal Clear Readings. My candle is lit because it's representative of life and enlightenment. Okay, so just to make it absolutely clear about that. And these cards are kind of big. So I checked out something like not that long ago, like shortly after I woke up to check the cards. I'll be like referencing to the cards that are on this particular site. Okay, so that I go to on this particular site that I go to when I do this. So this is beginnings, first time readings. So I'm not very familiar with these cards really at all. So I'll be referencing to my notes and to my phone just to get clarity on what cards are here or what have you. Okay, so I think I'm gonna stop here. Like I said, I'm going to be referencing to some notes I have here and then also to what's on my phone. So I was awakened about 20 minutes or so ago. But like I said, it's a bit of a difference of an energy. And sometimes I am up just because of something I'm going through personally in my life. So I decided to do a reading on the energy now. Okay, so put them over here. And I'll try to do the cards. I wasn't able to, because it was such a long reading, so I wasn't able to do a reading on that. So I have Two of Swords and the upright. I think I want to do this right here. Just use the site that gives me, the site. So Two of Swords is the first card that comes out. Two of Cups. Ten, 9, 3, Two of Swords. In the upright, difficult choices and decisions, stalemate. Let me see, it says full meaning, so I don't know what that is. Two of Swords symbolizes the confusion we face when we are forced to make difficult choices. And the Two of Swords card, there is a seated woman that is blindfolded while holding a sword in each of her hands. In the background, sorry about the noise here, but there is a sea. In the background, there is a sea surrounded by crags and rocks that serve as obstacles for vessels and ships, stalling progress and action. The woman in the card being blindfolded is a representation of a situation which prevents her from seeing both the problem and the solution with clarity. The woman in the card being blindfolded is a representation of a situation which prevents her from seeing both the problem and the solution. I never could really understand, or it really annoys me when times like this, it's like 3 in the morning. I don't know why these people are not able to find where they're going. It's like they're just staying stagnant, and why are they going 1 mile per hour is beyond me. Okay. So anyways, it's like there's no one there, so just keep it going. Isn't this an emergency? So really, this is really interesting. I won't, negate the fact of, hearing whatever this is, sirens, whether it's ambulance, it could be police cars, or fire trucks. So whichever one it is, I'm just going to incorporate that and say that, for me, it means some type of emergency, or some type of, actually it means something like to do with some sort of loss, or some sort of shock of something. Something's about to be revealed that will be shocking, or that is a disappointment. That is not good. It's not great at all. But I like this Two of Swords tarot. This Two of Swords, the description of it. So again, I'll read it again. The Two of Swords symbolizes the confusion we face when we are forced to make difficult choices. In the Two of Swords card, there is a seated woman that is blindfolded while holding a sword in each of her hands. In the background, there is a sea surrounded by crags and rocks that serve as obstacles for vessels and ships, stalling progress and action. The woman in the card being blindfolded is a representation of a situation which prevents her from seeing both the problem and the solution with clarity. I'm just going to stop there. That serves as obstacles for vessels and ships, stalling progress and action. So something is going on where the woman in this card, who has the Two of Swords, is being stalled. Her progress is being stalled, and there are obstacles that are preventing vessels and ships, from her forward movement, I guess, from things that she wants to do, or something like that. There's a seated woman that is blindfolded, so she's not able to see what is blocking her forward movement. Okay. We see the swords that she is holding in each of her hands show that there are two choices that lead in different directions and are mutually exclusive to one another. The swords that she is holding in each of her hands show that there are two choices that lead in different directions and are mutually exclusive to one another. The Two of Swords symbolizes the confusion we face when we are forced to make difficult choices. Okay, so this is saying that she has two choices. So that there are two choices that lead in different directions. Two choices that lead in different directions. Oh wow, there we go. From my last reading. Okay, so for me personally, because saying that there are two choices and saying that blindly here, she's blindfolded. Because I have a this situation going on here where, I'm just really good with this. I'm comfortable with this. But it also takes me from something that is of main priority and of great importance in my life. It does. But because that situation is stagnant or like, not really. Well, yeah. Well, no. It can be unstagnant. So, but it's a situation where it's separation and a lot of waiting time, prolonged waiting time. Okay. Directions. Okay, so it may also depict a stalemate, which means that the problem should be addressed with a logical and rational thinking. Okay, it says it may also depict a stalemate. So also with that, it says something about stalemate, right? Okay, which means that the problem should be addressed with a logical and rational thinking. The moon position on the right side of the card may signify the role of illusions and deception and the difficulty that the woman has in making a choice. So it did say illusions. So like illusions meaning something that like that isn't true, or something that someone is believing that is false, that may be false or something like that. That's what I'm thinking. So this really, for me, wow, so it does resonate with me. Two of Swords, having to make two choices and decisions, and maybe with some illusion here, because it says it may also depict a stalemate, which means that the problem should be addressed with a logical and rational thinking. If I just sat it with, logical and rational thinking, I'd be able to figure it out. The thing about it is that it's saying possibly that this situation here is taking more or costing more than I possibly realized, or something like that. So I'm going to go with that. Upright. So upright, when we see the Two of Swords in a reading, we are encountering a stalemate. So there's a stalemate. Okay. Two equal and opposing forces are joined in battle, and there seems to be no end in sight. Oh my gosh. Okay. This wasn't what you had in mind when you chance to walk down this path and you find yourself caught in the middle without something or someone to intervene. This may continue indefinitely. We find ourselves in a situation where we must make a choice. We can side with one part of the situation, or we can side with the other. Neither seems particularly appealing, which makes the decision even more difficult. But unless we move past this stalemate, there can be no more progress. So unless we move past this stalemate, there can be no more progress. I'm zooming in on this right here because but unless we move past this stalemate, there can be no more progress. So, in assuming myself being the stalemate in the situation, unless I, become not a stalemate, like I somehow conform, or I somehow decide on just with my first choice, let's just say that for sake of conversation, getting past and trying to get to a point. If I, just went back to that just completely and just, took this off, my agenda for a while, and that being a long while, and, even to the point to where maybe perhaps I didn't return or something like that. I mean, but at least coming from it for a certain number of time, I'm talking about months, a year or two or something like that, just to really zoom in and focus back on what is important to me, what have great importance to me, or what is considered first priority in my life. Okay, so unless we move past this stalemate position, unless we move past that and me deciding to go with my first priority, there can be no more progress. So there's no more progress that will happen. Like, things won't progress, but let me just read this again. This is really interesting, and it's really reminding me of some things. I really don't want to go too much delving into my personal life. Let me see if I can make some type of labels or something like that, descriptions. Okay, in the upright, the Two of Swords, meaning, and I'm still on the first card, guys. So this is amateur reading, first time reading. I do not know any of these cards. I have so much to learn. So it says, when we see the Two of Swords in a reading upright, we are encountering a stalemate. And so I assume that to be myself, okay? Two equal and opposing forces are joined in battle. Okay, two equal and opposing forces are joined in battle. So I would say, and when it says equal, so I would say two decisions that, you have, or that a person would have, that's very strong and that's very equal. Like, say, with your family, if you have the married life, or jobs, careers, something you've been doing, you're very strong at, but you have something else that is coming up that is of a love or of a great passion that you have, but the job that you have now is possibly very secure and satisfying, or it's been what's been holding you up. So like, if you leave and that job that you have great passion for or love for, it doesn't work out, you're just kind of like, how's that going to work? Or vice versa. When you think about it, it's like, but you're not going after that job that you love and that you have a lot of passion for, you know what I mean? And you could possibly been waiting for a long time, in your life. And so, or you could just be, thinking about the different things that come up, with that job, different people that you're working with, or if you're top and employer, then you have to think about that, your employees and all this stuff, or I don't know where does that leave you, just all these different choices. So two equal and opposing forces in some way, shape, form, or fashion are joined in battle. And then of course, if it's about a relationship or relationships, leaving from one, going to another, something like that. Okay, so that's what came to mind when I read that. Two equal and opposing forces are joined in battle. And there seems to be no end in sight, because you're trying to, in your mind, a battle for one or the other. One of the things, I don't know, I was going to say, like, you have a sort of peace when you make the right decision. But what I've been encountering is a lot of opposing energy, and opposing energies at times, and then challenges with it, just challenges with it, just because of what is of great importance to me and what is top priority for me. I think that I'm experiencing, opposing energy, and then challenges with that because of the separation and the waiting time. I'm not going to overlook that. And it's because of the separation. Anytime you're separated from, a situation or something that is close to you like this, it's going to be issues, it's going to be problems. And then challenges, of course, because of that separation, of trying to keep things together, or trying to, make things work. You're going to face opposition in that situation, and challenges. So let me see. So two equal opposing forces are joined in battle, and there seems to be no end in sight. This, because you're still continuing to do whatever you need to do to fight those, to overcome those challenges, and to overcome those opposing energies or opposing obstacles, that come in your way, you know what I mean? Because you're down for whatever this is that is for top priority and of main importance in your life. You're going to come against any opposing obstacles and any opposing challenges, any challenges that comes your way with that, because it's of great importance to you and it means everything to you. So the important thing there is like the fight, there's to not give up, to not give in, to not, allow yourself to be derailed or derouted, or something like that. Okay, so this wasn't the fact of all of this. I guess it says this wasn't what you had in mind when you chanced to walk down this path. Exactly. This is not at all what I had in mind. I was hopeful for, a beautiful outcome, a beautiful, not resolution, but a beautiful outcome, a beautiful expectation, my dreams coming true, all this stuff. And that's what I had envisioned, not, what it says here. This wasn't what you had in mind when you chanced to walk down this path and you find yourself caught in the middle. So like with this decision, I'm kind of like in the middle only because it's been, like I said, prolonged waiting period. So you're talking over 2 years. Just being in and out of this energy of, being in protective mode about it and fighting for it in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and even standing down, having a whole stand down. Like, I'm not moving here. Like, I'm going to stay here and defend my position of, being down for this cause, standing for this cause, or, saying that this is something that I want and that I'm going after and that I'm pursuing, with this situation that I consider to be close to my heart and of great importance to me and of top priority, number one priority in my life. So, that's, in yourself, and you find yourself caught in the middle. So, I know that I can do that. I have done that, done a complete stand down. Stand in that energy for as long as I can, literally, and then, coming out of it for a bit and then going back in because I know that this is of great importance to me. And like now, times that I have, done things to kind of either, get my mind off of it or not think about it so much, or, in a sense, giving up but not really giving up. And in that way, I've been in the middle of, my decisions with this, of what I wanted to do. I would say, like I said, there are times that I gave up, but not really gave up. And then there are times that I actually, and being honest, threw in the towel. But for me to come back full circle with the decision, I would say that that's me not having totally given up on the situation. Okay, so without something or someone to intervene. Okay, so this wasn't what you had in mind when you chanced to walk down this path and you find yourself caught in the middle without something or someone to intervene. This may continue indefinitely. And that's another indication here. It says, but unless, at the end it says, but unless we move past this stalemate position or whatever, there can be no more progress. So without something or someone to intervene, and this may continue indefinitely. So it's really sad to me to think about this right here. So I don't know what type of situation you may be going through, but I have something very much in mind in regards to relationship. So this could be, for you, career, or something that or some type of relationship or something that's going on with you, as I'm talking about this situation and relating it to myself. But for you, if it's anything resonates with you, then it could be, something that about your situation, okay? But for me, this is sad because when it says without something or someone to intervene. This may continue indefinitely. Being in the middle of decisions, like I said, it's over 2 years with this situation, and so this could, the fact that it's saying, that being in like this could be may continue indefinitely, and then at the end, but unless we move past this stalemate position, or just going back and forth, or being in and out of this energy, or being in the middle, or being a stalemate, not wanting to, just completely go back over and use all my time, all my energy, all my efforts, everything that I'm doing, continuously using it for that main of and great importance in my life, that is number one priority in my life. Unless I'm doing that, unless I'm doing that, then I am considered a stalemate, because I'm not, I'm not coming from that, I'm just, just stagnant or something like that. But let me see, it says this may continue indefinitely. So like I said, that's kind of sad, meaning that, all this continues indefinitely. I would say, because like I said in the last reading that I have, if you have anything that is your dreams, something that you believe in, and that you really want to go after, whatever it is, career-wise, relationships, or those things are very important, especially relationships. Just a spouse or someone you want to marry, someone you want to be with for the rest of your life, or someone that means so much to you. Whatever your dreams or goals are that you truly believe in, and that you truly want, to achieve, and things like that you truly believe in within your heart, you should absolutely go for that, and let nothing stop you, no one or nothing stop you, and spend most of your time, energy, and efforts towards that. You're talking 80%, 90%, like at tops, the most part, and then at some point 100. So that means that you have to withdraw yourself from things, and be a bit selfish, because you're trying to go after that goal. Of course not, ever like hurting people or doing anything malicious, or malice, or ugly towards people, and towards others, but just withdrawing yourself in a respectful way that you can, and respectful ways that you can, and then honestly, full force, 100%, you are definitely in hard pursuit, and even at 80 and 90%, you're a hard pursuit of your dreams, your goals, and what means so much to you. So and not letting anyone stop you or anything stop you, just full-heartedly going after that. Okay, so and at rare times, you bring it down to 70 and 60, but to bring it down below 50, really risking losing, seeing the results that you want, especially the longer you stay there, below 80, below 70, below 90. So it's just, the best thing is to just stay in hard pursuit. Whatever you can do, I'm a firm believer of that, in hard pursuit at definitely 80, and don't drop, and at 90, just stay there, because 90 could be a bit difficult, 70 is good as well, but hard pursuit of what it is that you want. And then, in a comfortable way. I'm not talking anything that is just too extreme, and you're stressed out, and you can't even think, or or anything that's putting you in a state of mind that's not good, what I mean, for your mental state of being. But just making sure that most of, like, everything is not going to say like you working at some restaurant or something like that, or having some job that doesn't really say that that's the area that you're going in, or that's the field that you're going in. No, I'm not saying that, but just making sure that some of the money that you're earning there is taking you in that direction in some way, shape, form, or fashion, or some of the things that you're doing in your leisure time, or spending your time in, or learning about, is taking you in that direction, or you have some sort of plans and for that direction. You know what I mean? Taking up lessons, like you're going to become a singer or something like that, anything that could also enhance that. You know what I mean? Learning how to write, music or something like that, or cooking or something like that, looking at cooking other people channels or something like that, learning something else new or something like that. These type of things would help, keep your mind on that, and would help, as a guide. And sometimes when you run into the opportunity for your dreams to come true, then at least your mind is open to it. You yourself is open to it, because you're watching this, or you're doing this, or you're participating in that, or you're working your money, can help purchase this or buy that or what have you, So you definitely want to, make sure you keep yourself in that direction to do that. Like for me, I kind of always wanted to like get into acting and things like that. So for me, I hate to say this, but like I actually don't want to really reveal that. So like if you're employed, then that's something that you can work towards. And then of course when opportunity presents itself, then you'll be able to make the purchases that are necessary. Or like let's say well, everyone knows that you need like maybe acting classes and all this stuff, so you'd have the money to invest in these type of things, you know what I mean? So you definitely want to make sure that you're set in the right position to do that, or to start doing that, start taking those classes, those lessons, or there's a lot of things you can learn online and things like that. So I do encourage that, that you do things that are from accredited, I don't want to say persons, but businesses or something like that, because you do want to have that, something that was accredited. So learning things, online, I'm sorry, well, yeah, on the website, just make sure that it's accredited. And then also, just in your leisure time, just checking out things on YouTube or other social media sites or other websites that aren't accredited, but it's something that you're learning or something like that. But you always want to make sure that you are in the direction for that, or that the things that you're doing is something like that. So with relationships, that you're, keeping these people, in your heart in some way, whether they're family or whether it's a relationship, that you're keeping that person on your mind, that you're thinking about them and you're thinking about you guys' relationship as a whole, as a unity. You want to make sure that you're spending as much time to invest in that direction as much as possible, especially if it's something of great importance to you, or that you would consider as top priority, and you would rather be in no other place, or except for with them, or if there was a choice between any other thing and them, you would always choose them, or you would always choose that as an option. Okay, so you just want to make sure that you're always keeping your mind open to that decision, or that choice, or that dream that you want to go after. Okay. I don't know how we got there, but this is where I feel like this reading is taking me. So yeah, just absolutely, hands down. I'm stressing this because I know it and or believe in it. Just do not, let anything, interfere with keeping these things at heart and pursuing them, being hard pursuit of them, because the overall goal is for you to achieve it and to see it happen. With the understanding that, it's going to take time, or that sometimes you're going to go through so many emotions, and some being that, oh, is this ever going to happen? Doubt, disbelief, worry, concern, anxiety, paranoia, just different things that you go through. But what you want to do is make sure that you continue to, believe, and, keep the faith or hope, in it, and to see it through, because you're definitely going to, more than likely, if you continue on in this way, in hard pursuit, with putting so much of your time and effort and dedication, and I would say as time goes on, like I said, this is like 2 years that we haven't done this. I would say because this is like relationships, so I've put in, I've been leaning more towards, that 80, 90% and even 100%, just because it's of great importance to me. Is something that I'm very passionate about, something that I will defend. I'm very defensive about, because, these are persons that I care about, and that I love and that I hold very close to my heart. So in a situation that I hold very close to my heart. So, and also because I cannot and in my life at now, or in the latter years of my life now, this isn't something that I can just walk away from. This isn't something that I can just say that I don't need in my life. This is actually something that is vital to me. So I am needing to not just treat it like nonchalant, or like it's not that important, when it actually is. It's like life and death, and survival. So it's important for me to stick to it as much as possible, and to keep it alive, and to try to be in pursuit of it as much as possible, even though there's great difficulty, even though there's this period of separation, that in these waiting times that are prolonged, but just to still have the faith and believe in it, whereas people would have just given up, to be honest, just because of the prolonged waiting time and the separation period. It's not something that people would have stuck around for, unless they are believing and seeing things in this way. Like, you still need to believe and have faith that it's, or in great hopes that that situation is going to come together, and that it's going to have a great outcome, and things like that. So with me, this is talking about a relationship. So in other situations, like, I don't know with you guys, but it could be something else that is in relation to what I'm saying, career wise, or something else, or a relationship, like maybe with family or friends, that isn't a relationship, or something like that. A spouse, or potential life partner, or soulmate, or something like that. This whole thing, did I read the whole thing? And then it says, we find ourselves in a situation where we must make a choice. We can side with one part of the situation, or we can side with the other. We find ourselves in a situation where we must make a choice. And I'm thinking that this one card is possibly, it could be just this, because it's going to tell more about this situation. If I did a whole reading, or put more cards out to clarify this situation here, and then any potential others that come up and they're already here, the cards, just all I have to do is just lay them out. Let me see. It says, we find ourselves in a situation where we must make a choice. We can side with one part of the situation, or we can side with the other. So again, there's two choices here to be made, and I would say that this is the card that needs to be, because this is what's going on. This is what the situation is. This is what the battle is currently, within myself, is to make a choice, a firm choice and decision. Because I feel like I can't move forward unless I'm wholeheartedly, fully in one thing. Okay, this is what I'm doing. This is what it is. Like, I like having one job, because I can fully dedicate myself to that job, and to that company or that business. If I'm working another job, it kind of splits you in a way, especially if it's like full part-time hours that are kind of like over 20 hours, you know what I mean? Or even that, it's your energy and your time and effort being spent in that. And if you were just working one particular job, with one particular business, or a company, then you just think about it. It's not rocket science. You're spending majority of your time and efforts and energy in that job, and so you're putting forth your best foot forward, and you're giving it your all, and you're more able to commit yourself to things, so I mean that's, it's pretty clear there that that's what it is. But I really like that, and the better thing about that is just like, if it's a job that really pays well and they have like all these benefits and stuff like that, I mean that's like, in my opinion, that's like the best thing you would need to, and the pay is good, then it works for you. I mean, then why go anywhere else? Like, I had a job that I recently been working like off and on for like the past recent years, and this company, like, I wouldn't want to go anywhere else. Like, and the thing, even though they have like part-time, they have like, I would be working part-time, right? So even with that, like the perks and like all the benefits, and like it's really good. It's really good. So I wouldn't want to work anywhere else. And I would want to wait even. If it's, let's say it's not enough money, but because of the benefits, the things that they offer even on part-time, it's like it's content. I'm content with it, and I'm satisfied with it. It meets my goals and stuff, because I've worked other jobs that don't offer these type of benefits. And I think that for me, I think that this company was thinking about people, what people need in the part-time. And I think that that's important. When you consider that, you need to consider that, people are, they have to use gas money, they have to, to get to work, or bus passes to get to work, or whatever the situation is. Just consider these people. They're spending their time, money, and effort and energy, to work for you. You may consider it as a not important thing, but this is, people's lives that is being taken away from their family, or something else that they could do and or be pursuing, and not taking these people for granted. But fortunately for this company I was working for, they're able to afford this type of thing. So other companies and businesses, they're not able to do that, but it's still something to say about. And this is all like in my short time of experience of working with certain companies, other ones in the past. It's still the consideration of, these people's lives and what they're taking their time out to do. I think there should be something like that. So some of these companies I've seen, some of them, they did offer some of these perks, like maybe some discounts on like transportation, or gas cards or something like that. You know what I mean? You need to think about that. You know what I mean? Because you have people who are dedicating their lives, even if it's part-time, they're coming in, clocking in and clocking out, putting in time for your business and your company. So you should be, more considerate like that. And I really feel bad for other companies because and businesses, because it's like they never reach a point where they're able to really fully protect and or really fully benefit their employees. And it's always like this cutoff point, oh, well, this is what it is, and da da da. And, it only goes to a certain point. And it's never to the point where it's like an abundance of that, or it's more than, or where the person is just completely satisfied. Unless it's like one of these, if you have like bachelor's or master's or in something, or like it's a well-paying job, then you do what you want with your money, $30 some dollars an hour or more, $40-$50 an hour or more, or something like that. And then you're able to afford things, or do what you want with your life. You don't care what that employer, you don't need them for that, you know what I mean? But for those that do, yeah, so you have companies that are, stagnant, or that are, left at a place where they're not able to really afford certain things. But then you have those that it's heart wise, and they did try, and if they had more, they would give more. That's great. I'm actually not really addressing them, I'm addressing more of those who Because in situations like that, they can start something, open something up, even if it's in like an organization or some type of support, for those employees. And then you have like what, unions and stuff like that. So in those situations, and in other situations where it's not a union, then you can start up some type of support, something to where it helps, these people with these type of, with different things that come up, that they're going to need help or assistance, and that would help them be a better employee, and show up for work and all this type of stuff, and different type of incentives. So there's ways of doing that, but they would have to be open to that type of stuff, these businesses, and they would have to be open to that, in companies. But when it comes to I'm sorry for just going on with this, but when it comes to other companies that that they have the luxury to be able to afford and say, hey, you're going to be happy with this package, you're going to be happy with what comes with this job, and we have this and we have that, and da, da, da. And I mean, not just saying it and it sounds great to them, but it's like it's an overkill. It's like, oh my god, this is really great. And for me, because I've worked with other jobs and businesses or companies that they weren't able to really afford what this last company that I worked was able to afford, I was just blown over the top with just the part-time stuff, and just what they offered, and then felt comfortable with the fact that this company was well set in money. Like they're over $1 million. They're actually in the B segment, or level, or what have you. So anyways, but so anyways, even if they were in the millions, it's cool. But and that, not just because of that. Okay, listen. I have to secure my future. Okay, so and so hey, listen, and you have to do what you got to do. I just listen. I can't feel bad about this, all right? Maybe I should have mentioned it, but you want to make sure that you're with a company that you don't have to worry about. And I always think about this, saying, or this, I don't want to be rolling in the ground or on the floor about pennies and nickels and dimes, because they refuse to give me a few little change, because they can't afford it or something, So anyways, I don't mean any real bad heavy shots at these companies. I'm just trying to state what I've learned and what I understand, and come to know about my experience with this. But these other companies that are able to offer these better deals or offer these better benefits, it's great. It's something that you can appreciate. It's something that you'll be satisfied with, you know what I mean? So in your decision making with whatever it is that you're doing, working, relationships and things like that, you want to make sure, well, let's just say with the careers, you want to make sure that you're investing in things that isn't overkill, or that basically is something that has a lot of benefits. But that's not to say, as long as it's healthy, everything is right, your mental state is good, and it's good, things are not going to be perfect, but it looks good, it is good, it's great, it shows great potential. There's a lot of abundance there, you don't have to worry and things like that. So I think that's a sign that that's the right direction, or that's the right choice. It's like, how can you say no to something like that? This is definitely something that is good for you, even if it's not like your first choice or something like that, what have you, or it wasn't something that you initially wanted to go with or something. All right, so let me see if I can bring this back. This is the Two of Swords. We've been reading about this. Neither seems particularly, let me see. Oh, okay. So basically, I just read that we find ourselves in a situation where we must make a choice. We can side with one part of the situation, or we can side with the other. I'm just saying, like in those type of situations where there's great abundance and something, you a lot of benefits and things like that. These are not something that you want to just give up on. This is not something you just pass up on, especially when you've been waiting a long time, for it, or and it's going to be a beneficial. This is like marrying into a good marriage that is going to support you as a woman, or even as a male. Like you're marrying a rich woman, you know what I mean? Their family is rich and she's rich, and I'm not trying to say that that's like the most important things. I'm just saying being well off. And then of course the truest riches in life is yeah, because I mean, you just look at surroundings. I'm just, um, the truest riches in life is like your health, and the things that are priceless, like love and your family and the truest and genuineness of friendships and partnerships, and it's not really even with jewelry, gold, it's not really with those things. Money, is a materialistic things, really. It's heart wise, you know what I mean? Those are the truest riches of things. But it's the way, it's a combination, too, as well. You know what I mean? You want to have balance with that. As long as those things, really don't override or overshadow you, or you're not too, into it, a materialistic person, you can let go. You can let go of it, if you need to, when it comes down to what's important, you know what I mean? And you're not selling yourself and or others out for those things, depending on how the situation is. Some things we need to let go. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about, replacing people and or yourself, with those things when you shouldn't do that. You know what I mean? When you shouldn't do that. So I'm not talking about when, you should never replace yourself or others with these type of things. Like that should be not, yeah. Unless it's something that you have to, a selfish move you need to make, from this or that situation because it's too much or something like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being a complete selfish individual, or just becoming too materialistic, or just something that is pretty much a way of being that is like self-destructive to you. It's just basically going to take you down a path that isn't good, and you're going to become a cold-hearted person, just a not good person, just being selfish and self-centered and all this stuff. Just really not good. Not even self-centered, just selfish individual, and you could become, just downward spiral with that. So, that's not something that you want. So it says, neither seems particularly appealing, which makes the decision even more difficult. So, for me to think back and just bringing this back, like I said it in my last reading, that I felt at times, because of the opposing energy, because of the opposing obstacles at times, and the different challenges that I had to face, and then me pouring in so much, going full force, 80%, 70, 80, 90%, and even sometimes 100%, putting in all that time and then not getting the results that I'm looking for, which is an ultimate win, which is, not separation, but the opposite of that, being together and one in unity, achieving the goals that I have in mind, it actually flourishing, actually taking place, actually happening, so that there isn't a separation with this thing that is of great importance to me, and of top priority, number one priority, and very close and dear to my heart. Me not seeing that does, put me in a place where I feel, a bit unbalanced, because I feel like I'm putting in, when you put in all your time, all your effort, or you put in that much, it can make you, feel, some type of way or what have you. So I can be, feeling like, that I'm in balance, you know what I mean? Because I'm giving all of myself in a situation that it's not happening in the way that I needed to, or in the way that I was expecting. I had great expectation and great hopes. Like, okay, at some point this is gonna kick off. At some point it's gotta work. At some point, there's got to be something that happens, and then seeing this happen over and over and over again, time and time and time again, when I feel like I'm putting in from 70 to 100% from time to time, or the times that I am dedicating myself in this way, to this thing that is of great importance, a top priority and close to my heart. That's a lot to dedicate yourself to. That's a lot to put in, and then to not see the results that you're looking for and to not get them, even though you may be like mindful, like, hey, it's not. There's a waiting period because of the separation, the obstacles that, are standing in the way of that, the challenges that are standing in the way of that, because of that separation, so there's a waiting time. You still, like, I still think, like, try to be realistic. Okay, well, it's because of this separation, it's because of this prolonged waiting time, so I try to be realistic. Okay, well, I may not see results until this time, or I may not see results until that time, or, just being hopeful. Okay, well, what else, can I do to invest in this situation, or maybe do, something else that's not, taken away from, what is of great importance, top priority, and close to my heart, so sometimes I go in, I do consider, like, what could be like a imbalanced feelings, or, emotions about it. So neither seems particularly appealing, I, I went into that, saying that because, and then neither can seem particularly appealing because, with that situation, I'm just always, pouring in, giving a lot, of myself, because I guess my time could be spent, in other areas, but because I really want to go after this, I'm putting a lot of effort and a lot of time and energy in it, or at least, being open and available to it, and doing things that really super focuses on that, in that area for what is of great importance, a top priority to me, so because of me feeling like imbalanced at times, or just because I'm not getting the results, that I want. So at times it's like, it's not that appealing. So let me see if I can do something else. But at the same time, that's not going to take away, from me dedicating and committing myself to this, something that is of great importance to me, that I, see as top priority. What can I do that doesn't take from that, so much from that. And then this, not being as appealing because of that situation, because this isn't my first, our main thing of great importance, isn't my main thing of importance in my life. This is something that I'm just newly taking on and venturing out on, that, it's important to me because, I do have a passion here, but it's not top priority. It's not the main thing in my life, and that I would, wish to be happening and going on. Because again, if that separation situation with the top priority and what is of great importance to me, if that, situation changes to where it's the opposite of that, it's not separation there, then there is this situation, there's no situation that will, stop me from being and or going after, that, because that is of top priority to me, and it's something that's very close to my heart. So, taking a vacation from this, however long that will be, it could be months, it could be a year, it could be 2 years, just to, because I've been waiting, for this to come through and to happen for the longest time. So, whatever it takes, whatever I need to do, whatever moves I need to make, this is the dream, this is the goal, this is something that I truly, truly believe in. So I'm going to drop, whatever it is that I need to for however long I need to do it. Because this this is what is of great importance, and what is of top priority in my life. So there's nothing, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna let anything, interfere with that, or, there's nothing, whatever I need to do, I would definitely, move in that direction. So, um, you know, um, so I can see how, neither of these can be, appealing, when it comes down to this, which makes the decision even more difficult. So, yeah, it can make it difficult. It's like, well, like where I'm at right now, I feel like is a difficulty because, um, I would the reading that came up last night was basically saying that I was a stalemate, and that I didn't want to turn from this. Like the death card was in reverse, so this wasn't it like this isn't a decision me doing this. It, even though I just fairly newly, decided to do this, isn't something that I'm willing to confirm, or like I don't see it anywhere near in sight. Like, I don't see this coming to an end anywhere near in sight, because I feel like, I've, it's been, some time, and I'm very familiar with, this waiting period and all that. So, um, let me see, which makes the decision even more difficult. Yeah. And then at the same time, I have this situation that is near and dear close to my heart, top priority in my life, of great importance, is the most important thing to me, and how do you, and with what I said, if it's something that's of great importance, really, it's, in short, this something like this would be an evidence of interference. And one of it, and why I say that is because I do like 3 of these readings, slamming 3 readings like in a day, morning, noon, and night, or something like that. Actually, I have another on here. It's a Chinese zodiac sign, so I can just go book wild with this. So, anyways, so I do that reading, so 2 readings in a day, morning time or afternoon, and then I do one at night, and I like the one at night. So I like all of them actually, obviously. So, but so this is, I'm just, and then also talked about, over splurging and overspending, and how this could even be like, a bad decision. So I totally believe in what I said about, going after your dreams and whatever it is that you believe in, and being full-heartedly in that. So it really, and then it said something about it's a logical decision. Like it was one card that came out, and it said something about it really just takes logical and rational thinking to come to a solution to this situation. And when I think about it, yeah, like, really, with the 2 of Swords here, obviously, and then with that reading from last night, it's a no-brainer. And like, I would need to, lower this, and I mean really lower it. Like, do a reading like once or twice a week, or every other week, something like that, or just a few a month, like something like that. Or just completely just, take a vacation from it for a while, and that could be from a few months to a year or 2 years. Why? To really zoom in and focus, do this to this, this situation that is of great importance, and that means so much to me, to my life. Okay. What do what is, well, how are you at towards swords with something like that? How are you, indecisive, and you can't decide what is important and is of great, importance to you, to your life. How are you indecisive about that? Like, the choice is very clear. You know what I mean? I have no idea, but I mean that's the reality of the situation. No matter what I want to say about it, that is the reality of the situation. Like, obviously, that's what you need to do. Like, what to do. Like I'm saying that I know what to do, and I know what is the right way. I know what decision is right, and this is really interesting. I hate to say this, but prophetically speaking, this is gonna matter, and this is really interesting. So it's saying I'm at a 2 of Swords here, but with 2 decisions. If I decide to go with this, is going to make some changes. And I'm not going to be completely happy with this decision, because I'm minusing myself from, fully investing in and pursuing what is of great importance to me and to my life. Okay, and then, something that I consider to be top priority in my life and that is close to my heart. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to be happy with this. This is what these cards. I'm sorry. This is what these cards have been telling me. I've been doing this for like 3 days now. So, and like today would be like the 4th day. This is telling me that the cards are telling me that I'm not going to be happy with this decision. Prophetically speaking, but I'm going to be happy with, things are going to still be the same, but I'm going to be happy with, this decision to just fully invest, go back to, 70%, 80%, 90%, and 100% investing in this top priority, something of great importance to my life. I'm going to be happy because I'm putting my efforts back into something that, I strongly, firmly believe in. Okay. And then of course there's other things that I can do and that can be done. Yeah, so I'm not sure, I would say maybe just, taking a whole vacation, swiping this, for, a few months, unless something makes sense in the next few months or something, or like there's drastic changes or something. As far as an uplifting, like this would be good, but like, doing a few of these readings or whatever enough until you feel you're back at balance. So if ever there's a situation in a few months that happen in a few months from now to like a year or something like that there's major changes with this situation here that is of great importance, that is something that you need to stick to or you need to do or something like that, that is top priority in your life, and that you hold close and dear to your heart. If there's ever, because there's already a situation where there's a time of separation, so then you need to and if something happens where it's a drastic changes, then what you should do is just make sure that you do something of balance. If something like this comes up again, then I would say absolutely do it, because if you do, it can create, restoration or some sort of balance, so that you are not going all the way, down in some type of depression or some type of phase, that minuses from your person and, your beliefs, as a person as a whole. And then, just doing it until, you recover or you have some sort of sense of balance back restored to you. You know what I mean? So that's, for really like emergencies, or really, for those type of times, because then you're investing in it, and it's like a need for it, you know what I mean? And so it's more understood, is more accepted, and the messages you get doesn't really reflect so much of this, that there's a conflict, there's a problem, there's issues and things like that. So right now it's kind of like there's not a problem, there's not issues, you're good, so like, why are you going to this direction? Why are you in this direction? Why are you doing this? So I don't know what to do about this situation. I'm thinking about something here. But yeah, Two of Swords, what other reason is there for you to be feeling stagnant, or to be feeling like you can't make a decision? Like, how is that? You know what I mean? So definitely you need to just, so I was saying prophetically, me, I'm so sorry. Something is really coming to my mind now. So it's over an hour, but I guess it's all good. And if so, if I need to, I'll just upload this as without putting up because of the way that I have for uploading. So if it's not a title, the only title will be on the video, will be on the description of the video. Okay. But yeah, so prophetically speaking, I said this before in the last reading and the reading before that, is, you know, if I make a decision to go and with this, continue on with this, this is going to make some sort of changes in my life. If I decide to just go back, reverse this, change from this, put this on hold for several months to a year or two, then I'll be, obviously putting my time back into something that is of great importance. Really, there's like not anything to this is not something that you second guess. This is not something you third guess. This is not something you guess back at all. It's like, what is there to decide? What is there to think about? You know what I mean? If you're gonna go in the direction that is right for you, or that's right, or you're gonna go and I don't want to say play around, but in a decision that is gonna be minusing from you and from what you want. So you're going after your dreams. Are you going to go, for something that is less than, or something that isn't, your top priority, your top goal, your top dreams of your life, or your life, you know what I mean? So I have, why would I say that? I have some things to think about. I don't know, I'm kind of like with, the decision to, well, not the decision, but just thinking, I have to let go of, certain prides and certain ways of thinking when it comes to like what other people are going to say. Like, I'm kind of doing this, the kind of as a slap in others' faces. I mean, I just, and since symbolically speaking, or, and just being prideful of, this move here, like just saying, this is something really good, something really great. And because I feel like, there's certain persons, that are in observance of myself in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and the things that I do, that they're perceiving this as, or me stepping away from this as a way that's like, that are negative towards me. First of all, those who have these certain observances, and that aren't in particular persons that I know are, have befriended or something like that, but because of others' opinions about me that aren't so, great or what have you, they decided that they wanted to perceive me in certain type of ways that's not in a great light for myself. So they would, push on, the ideas that, of not my non-success, and of me not being successful in certain things or whatever. So like that, that's something, those I'm like holding on to it to, as a jab towards them or something like that. I'm not gonna just step away from this. This is something that is I enjoy, or I like doing, or what have you. No, like this is their wishes for me to, discontinue this, for those persons who are in observance, of me in some way, shape, form, or fashion, that have this negative perception of me because of, some others who have chosen to, view me in not good light, or, in bad lightings or what have you, or in bad ways or what have you. Just because that's just, their choice or what have you. Sometimes, people hold certain things that you've done and that you do against you. So, that's just their way of how they feel and everything like that. But yeah, I kind of feel like that's, this is something that they would love, if I just stepped down and just, or, stepped away from this, discontinued this. So, for those who are, are in observance of me in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I'm just rubbing my arm. I have no idea why. But, yeah, so this of the Two of Swords, when in the upright, when we see the Two of Swords in a reading, we are encountering a stalemate. So I just went over that, how I'm being a stalemate, how that I am a stalemate, and how I'm being a stalemate. Two equal and opposing. Okay, let me read this again. So, up in the upright, the Two of Swords meaning is when we see the Two of Swords in a reading, we are encountering a stalemate, two equal and opposing forces, and joined in battle. And there seems to be no end in sight. Two choices that you're faced with. This wasn't what you had in mind when you chanced to walk down this path, and you find yourself caught in the middle without something or someone to intervene. This may continue indefinitely. We find ourselves in a situation where we must make a choice. We can side with one part of the situation or we can side with the other. Neither seems particularly appealing, which makes the decision even more difficult. But unless we move past this stalemate, there can be no progress. Okay, so unless we move past being a stalemate in some situation, shape, form, or fashion, this situation basically will have no progress. It can't move forward, and it could possibly, without someone intervening, something or someone intervening, this may continue indefinitely. So whatever there's situations that you could be facing or you're going through, if this is resonating with you in some way, shape, form, or fashion, that you're going through, that if you don't become non-stalemate in whatever it is that you may be being stagnant in, or just you're refusing to move, and then there's possibly going to be no progress, and this may continue where there's nothing happening or what have you. So I have a decision to make, and I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do with this decision. It's obvious what choice I should make, and because of this situation, I have to get over my pride. I have to get over I feel like I've made my point. With the fact of me just doing this, like I do it 3 times a day, and I don't do it like to get on people's nerves. I'm just honestly doing it just because it's something that I enjoy, and it doesn't. I don't have a problem with it, and obviously, like I don't even know like all the, I don't even know like the definitions of like all of this. I'm just reading them off of my phone, and then the notes that I have, and then just trying to bring the message together as much as piece it together as best I can. But. Yeah, I mean, this is about the Two Swords. Look this up yourself, for the tarot card reading, or for the tarot cards, you can do this on Google, Two Swords, what it means. And yeah, so it's a decision that needs to be made. Something somehow blindfolded to that. I don't know, at this point I'm blindfolded right now. But I guess before I was in that energy, so, that makes sense. But